What's happening, everyone? Welcome to In His Mind podcast. Welcome to our Christmas special. Yay! You laughed. Yeah! How's everyone doing, man? Welcome back, man. Thank you for staying with us and checking up on us and making sure you're integrating yourself into our conversation. We love it. We want it. Thank you for all the comments, the likes, the follows. And we're here again. And this is going to be a special one because we're just going through our highlights of the year, what's been going on with us, important things we found, funny things we found, what we've learned. And this is a great, way to really get involved in our personal, a bit personal stuff. But generally, we're just having a great conversation. And, comment, please talk to us. If we're talking rubbish, say it. If we're capping, say it. It's all valuable, okay? So, how's everyone doing? First and foremost, before I go a step further, how's everyone doing?
You look good in the dunya, man.
Yeah? You mind singing? No? Yeah? What was it? We got the Christmas lights at the back, you know what I mean? We're like, where is the energy right now?
Now, very Christmassy. This Christmas juice, yeah.
Okay, you understand where he at? How's everyone doing, man? What's been happening?
Yeah, it's been popping. It's
been good? You been enjoying the Christmas food? You been enjoying
Yeah.
Shout out to Food Junkie for providing us with this scrumptious meal, you know what I mean? It's been nice. We've been going plate after plate after plate, you know what I'm saying? So it's beautiful, man.
Speaking about plates, don't forget the cakes.
Hey, listen, the scarlet room.
You lot ain't ever had apple crumble cake.
Cake?
You ain't even heard of it. Stop lying, bro.
You ain't even heard of it, bro. It's not even in your...
All about this life.
Right now, how you feeling, man?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Been a nice year.
Been a nice year?
Yeah, it's nice to come to an end, and it's
Yeah. I think this year's gone fast. What's everyone else feel? I think the year goes by.
Has-
Every year goes by. A whole 2023's gone by.
You know what that is?
What's
Gone for.
Because you guys are old.
Oh, really? We're going to play the old card. Oh, wow.
Gotta start like that.
When you get older,
Okay,
time
okay.
goes quicker. Everyone
So,
says that.
Brian will not be in season 2. And she has retired to...
I think when you get older, I think your time is filled in with more stuff, so it feels like it's going quicker.
Yeah. Good point. I wouldn't say that. That's true.
Yeah,
But
but
you reckon more
when you're younger,
obligations?
you have less responsibilities.
Yeah.
I'll get what I want to.
Yeah, it's true.
As you get older, it's like, oh, I've got work, I've got this.
Yeah.
I've got this. Da, da, da.
So you're always occupied with something.
Yeah, but the time is relatively the same. It's just what you do with it.
No, it's true. It's true. You said 24 hours what everyone has, but it's true. I never looked at it from that perspective, but it's true. If you've got so much going on, then it's quite easy for the day to just, you know what I mean? By the time I've got up, dropped the kids off, go gym, go to work, and did 2 things, it's 4 o'clock. I'm like, but wait, I've got like 10 things to do. It's already 4. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I finished the rest at home, whatever the case may be. So yeah, I totally understand that. What's been some of you lot's highlights this year, man? So much happens in 1 year. You know what I've learned? So much happens in the world in 1 year.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, when you sit down and be like, wait a minute. 4 things that come to mind straight away, yeah. That just comes to mind when I think of like this year, some highlights in entertainment. In entertainment, what was the Kiki Palmer Usher thing. Jada Pinkett is the gift that keeps on giving. And
Especially to podcasts.
oh, she's a gift. If you ain't got no content, just check her on Instagram. She'll give you content. I found a podcast that I liked, and then we started In His Mind podcast this year, which is bloody brilliant. And then, it's been like I've learned some real life lessons this year. I want to start with the life lessons. What are some life lessons that everyone's been learning this year? Like, really, when we talk about another year around the sun and all that stuff, but we don't talk about what we learned as we've grown in that 1 year. So I want to start with Buzz and go around from my right. So Buzz, what are some of the key?
No pressure, man.
No, yeah.
No, to be honest with you,
Some key things that you really like. No, I hit home.
I realized the importance of discipline. Like, I feel like discipline, or from my perspective this year, is that discipline initially when it was introduced to me was from a negative perspective. Like, I'm gonna discipline you. And I'm thinking, so I generally grew up rebellious towards discipline. And
Because he came out as a form of
punishment. So there's punishment. So there's But then obviously as you get older, you start to understand, like, obviously, like, I'm into fitness, I'm into production and stuff like that. So there's a certain type of discipline you need in order to be successful in these things. And as you get older, the language and understanding of discipline has changed now, because then it's like, oh, discipline has been able to put in work. even when you're not able to do it and stuff like that. So then understanding that, and then now applying it in my life in different ways. So then understanding about, oh, you know, if this thing has gone wrong in my life, I lack discipline in a certain thing, and that's why that has been affected. This year became more prominent and more dominant in my life, where I'm now taking control of discipline and you know, consciously making an effort to work on my personal discipline. Do you know what I'm saying?
Have you seen any rewards so far?
No, most definitely.
Like you say it's been really like, okay, this is tried and tested, and I know this to be the truth.
Yeah. Obviously, you know, I've looked back on, you know, the things that I deem as success in my life. You know, the things that I do well. I'm like, all right, like, you know, I was, you know, there's always a association of a level of focus. And then when you talk about focus, it's discipline. Yeah, I mean, so once I've done that, then I realized, okay, again, doing certain new things, let me try this. I'm going to wake up at this time and do this. Every time I do this, start scheduling.
I've been seeing it though on Instagram, bro.
Yeah,
like,
scheduling my life.
You're up early in the morning. You take pictures of the sunrise. Like I've been seeing, and this is a part of you I haven't seen before, and it's been so consistent throughout the year.
What I'm happy that you said is consistent, because I do that. I've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm going through these periods, and then you start realizing, oh, my pattern is inconsistency.
Okay.
you're like, oh,
I'm consistent, inconsistent.
yeah, like certain things. You know what I mean?
Now we
And
realize
then you look at the things that you watch your habits, the things that you are consistent in.
Yeah, which
and
are your
then-
habits?
And then you gotta weigh up and like, okay, which one's better than me though? Do you know what I'm saying?
Which consistent? What am I doing consistently that's better than me?
Yeah.
We do a lot of things consistently, subconsciously that we don't even know.
What happens also on discipline?
Yeah.
Because then when you start looking at your discipline as a tool now, rather than a form of punishment or a form of, you know, some associated to some sort of
Negative thing, yeah.
then you start being like, oh, I need to start using this tool to better myself and get to where I want to get to. So, yeah, going into that, really reading into that. Obviously, I mentioned it before, but we're going into 2024. And I always say this, that everyone talks about this year being the LeBron year, 23, and the Michael Jordan year, because these are guys that did great things.
Yeah.
But going into 24, that's the Kobe Bryant year.
Yeah.
That's the Mamba year. And
The Mamba mentality.
Mamba, yeah, so the Mamba mentality is the book that I'm reading, and I'm always pushing it because going into 24, I feel like words, affirmation is very important. So when we start talking about a Mamba mentality, that's only about discipline. It's
listen.
only about this. I'll just give you one.
Yeah.
The Mamba mentality is Kobe Bryant's ethos of excellence. He has this thing, again, for those people that are superstitious or, you know, anything else, don't take this the wrong way, but he has this thing about 666. Yeah. So where is
Don't start this.
no, we're not
Comment
going-
sections on fire.
Yeah, so this
Gonna
666.
start-
Well, what's the point?
Yeah, so this 666 is basically for 6 months, 6 days, for 6 hours, he's gonna do the same thing. For 6 months, 6 days, for 6 hours, he's gonna do this particular thing. So his thing was practicing shots. So everyone comes to maybe like to the practice at the gym, the basketball court, the gym, at 8 a.m. He'll get to the gym at 5 so he can push in that 3 hours of that 6 hours of his own personal thing.
Yeah.
Then when they finish, so they say they finish at, I don't know, 3 p.m. He's staying there to 6 to do those extra 3 hours. So those he's 6 hours, and he's doing that 6 days a week for 6 months in the year. So when people's like, how come he never misses? And because of his member mentality, because of his self-discipline. That was so inspirational for me because I feel like people are always looking for most time when you see somebody successful, you always ask them, oh, how did you do it? And it's like, and they tell you, oh, everyone's giving you this and this and this. But this was like a physical, do you know what? Do whatever you do. If you're a creative, you're a builder, whatever it is, use this tool for your own personal discipline in whatever thing is, you will get results. And I was like, you know what? Because I want to go into next year with the Mamba mentality, I got to start from now.
Yeah, it's not 2024.
No, you can't
start from now.
You're not going to be like, oh, the 1st of January 2024, Mamba mentality.
Yeah, because you're gonna summon. This discipline is not something you summon out of the blue. And what you're saying is so powerful because the only new version of new you is the new discipline you've developed. There's no version of a new you without discipline.
Facts.
Because to say you're the new you and then start back and say, no, it's perfect. No, you just want discipline. That's what we do.
Make excuses.
Make excuses. Oh, but that was perfect. No one said about perfection. The only version of a new you in a new year is the new discipline you develop. Because without that, you're not a new you. You're just you trying a new thing. You're just you trying a new thing. But saying a new you is a new discipline. So I love what you're saying, man, because do you know I've told most people, like, a lot of questions I've been asked, like, since I was on Blue Therapy was like, bro, how did you? And the only answer I've had for the past decade is discipline. That's the only answer. You guys have known me forever. What else has been my answer? What else have I been preaching to the whole world? To every person I meet, I'm like, yo, you are going to be a slave to your life if you have no discipline. Period. You will not be dominating nothing. You won't be in control of nothing, and you won't be intentional about nothing. Because the discipline is what strengthens the human resilience. It's that says, you know, that's 6 hours for 6 days. And he didn't say 6 hours straight. He's just like, I'm plucking 6 hours of this day with this thing. If everybody gave themselves a year where they were consistent, they'll be so close to their goal, if not on their goal. But when people are wondering,
beyond their goal.
if not beyond their goal, and here's why everyone's wondering why they haven't made it, because you've not actually given yourself a fair shot at being successful yet. You haven't sat down and said, you know what, done with the excuse, done with the chat, because you cannot be the old you and the new you at the same time. So the problem is people still like their old life and parts of it. So it's hard to be the new them, because they want to be the new them, but psychologically they know that, no, I still want to hold on to this.
It's uncomfortable to be in.
Right, so then,
Yeah.
right, so, but then, if you want to achieve things, if you want to evolve, if you want to do these things, unfortunately, you know, there's a great, a pastor said in a very good way that I really like. He said, look, the door to your success is thin and thinner and thinner the higher up you go. You can't take all the baggage with you. So what? So the door you just got through now, where you are, you can take all this baggage with you and be here comfortably. But you're saying you want to be up there, but those doors are narrow, so you can't bring more things with you. Things got to stay in the other room. Yeah. You can't go back to go check them, because you might get trapped back there, and it's a problem. So yeah, I think that's, you know, to your point, Buzz, like the discipline that you're picking up is so dope, because you're actually seeing real life results straight away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like you're waiting for you're like, nah, actually I've got, like, when I'm doing it, blah blah blah. So for you, Rich, what's this year for you?
What do you mean in terms of what?
In terms of what have you done? What's your biggest life lesson this year that really allowed you to, you know, ascend into this new era?
I think for me, where I'm at right now is it's okay to establish boundaries.
Okay, boundaries has been a big thing for you.
Boundaries have been a very big thing for me.
Just give us the story, like, why was it not, and how did it become, and what were the results you've seen?
I think for me, establishing boundaries was always uncomfortable for me, and I didn't really know how to do it in a mature way. I was the kind of person where it's like, yeah, I'm open, free, I'm transparent, you know, it is what it's going to be. Even though I had certain boundaries internally, I weren't necessarily upholding them or making them obvious to people around me. And then when people would violate those boundaries, because most of the time they weren't even aware, or even if they were aware, I wasn't really checking it. Do you understand? Because I'm too focused on upholding this image of, for lack of better words, trying to be this nice guy. So, you know what I mean? Trying to be this version of myself that a certain group of people expect from me to be. But I realized that it's okay for me to not be that version of myself all the time. And it's okay to express that frustration or that anger sometimes. It's okay to check those boundaries, you know, with people. It's also okay to be uncomfortable about doing all of that. Do you know what I mean? What's not okay was not doing anything about it and having some conscious bitterness in you about the people around you and the way that they're treating you and the way that they're acting. Because I had to take on responsibility of that and realize that I allowed them to, because I didn't manage these relationships properly. You know what I mean? When I put it on me, instead of just focusing on their behavior and their consciousness and their intention. Right. And I just put it on, okay, so what is it that I'm doing that's allowing these people to cross these boundaries and stuff like that? And then I started working on it. And one of the things I learned was that sometimes you don't put that boundary you don't build the fence right where the goal is.
Okay, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
It comes to,
Like,
not at your doorstep, as they say, goes. Not at your doorstep.
the fence does,
Yeah, the fence is not at the doorstep.
They have 40 acres for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, I need time
to process, adjust, see what was coming.
is going on between that boundary over there
and my
and over
doorstep.
here.
Yeah.
That 40 acres is enough time to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying to you. So for me, I started now establishing that in my life now. And that was uncomfortable because where people were comfortable living so close to proximity and certain actions, and I had to kind of push those people back, and these people, some people I love, are very close to and care about. Some I didn't, which I enjoy it.
Keeping it real.
And I'm enjoying it. No, I'm still enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Seriously, I can't get why there's sometimes
Kind of dead weight.
Yeah, but it's like, you know what it is? It's like, because I was walking around in the world. This is what it is. I have a high expectation for myself, but I also put that high expectation on the world. So now when I go out into the world and the world don't meet the expectations that I have on myself, and to be honest, a lot of these expectations I have on myself are because this is what I think the world has of me. So I'm being that, thinking that this is what the world's saying you should be and this is what they should be. So when I'm coming out and I'm not meeting that, I'm frustrated and I'm feeling like, no, that's...
You feel cheated.
I feel cheated and I feel like I need to, I should correct that.
Yeah.
To understand, because this is, you should be like how I'm trying to be. This is the goal. Realizing that,
no
one has to be anything, bro. You've chosen to be that way because that's you've chosen to go in. People are gonna be them, and people will try to mess with your shit. So you have to be prepared to defend that and have those boundaries.
Hence that boundary for that 40 acres. So when they do want to do it.
So now it's like, because I put those boundaries in those places now when people violate those boundaries, I'm comfortable with the
confrontation. Okay, got you.
Because my problem is that
you weren't looking for trouble.
As much as, do you know what I mean? As much as, people might want to call me nice guy and, a gentleman, I wasn't raised in a gentle environment. You understand what I'm saying to you? Around gentle people. So unfortunately, I have that anxiety. Do you understand where it's, which I do deal with anxiety a lot, but I had that bit about you where if I perceive it as a threat, I'm ready to deal with it in a certain way.
How's it impacted your life positively since you started? What's the rewards of doing it? What change have you seen that you were like, you know what? I'm glad I made this stance because I found what's it called? Some sort of resolute with that. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think the first thing is that it made me more comfortable in my own skin. That was the first thing. So I was more accepting of myself. You know what I mean? Not just the good bits, but I've been okay with being frustrated because someone on the train is just barging. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And I want to have something to say about that. Do you understand? Or a manager talking to me in a certain way, and I want to pull you to the side and confront you about that. Do you understand? Like I'm okay and comfortable in those spaces.
Though.
In a sense of, because like when in the end, I think we had it easy to deal with confrontation in a way, because it's like you disrespect me. It's a slap, it's a punch, it's a fight, that's easy to do that. What's hard is as a grown up, is to have these kind of same issues, but now you have to manage it. Now you
can't just lash out.
You can't get physical, you can't get aggressive, you got to communicate. And I've always been an okay communicator to a degree. Do you understand? And I say that because, when I'm human just like anyone else. When I get triggered, I'm
you're not always there. Okay.
And for me, like that boundary, once that boundary is crossed, like for me, I let it go.
Okay.
I let it all go. Do you know what I mean? So
it's not putting yourself in that position. You start to create those boundaries, so it doesn't have to become that deep. You can address it way beforehand. It doesn't have to be so intense for people. Yeah. I love that. So we got discipline, boundaries. Miss Scarlett, what has been your biggest lesson of 2023 that's empowered you?
I I would say that I hadn't realised I'd become a better version of myself. I'd done a lot of self-development without even realising it.
Okay.
So, and I think that's now reflected in myself. Everyone, like my family members and friends, every time I see them, it's you're looking so well, I've lost a lot of weight. It's like, so seeing that now everyone else can see that is quite a big thing, because sometimes maybe you think, am I just imagining?
So do you feel like your internal development or growth is now becoming external?
Yes, that's the best. Yeah.
So what's the lesson learned in that? What's the lesson that you learned? Now you've developed and people see it now. What did you learn in that process?
They could just be small changes that turn into something a lot bigger, as it has. Just some really small changes.
Can I ask, have you learned to like,
What have you learned? Because I think I'm learning what you've learned.
like,
What have you actually learned?
you learn how to have faith in yourself?
Yeah, did you learn what? Did you learn how to deal with people? Sorry, what was
How
the
did
lesson?
you get what you? Because I get what you're trying
Yeah,
to do.
it's like West.
And I know you know it, but it's just still understanding it in a way.
It's hard to find the words.
Yeah, and I'm trying to
So for
simplify.
example, like he was like, I learned discipline and where it can fit in my life because I learned it. I learned it's not a punishment; it's a tool as an adult. Rich learned boundaries, and it's okay that they feel uncomfortable because he's done trying to make himself uncomfortable for other people.
Yeah, how did you get?
How
to
did
it?
yeah? What's the lesson for the audience so they can
What
understand?
what did you discover?
Yeah.
In yourself that
self-development.
helped you to get to this level of realization that wow, that I've changed and everyone around me has changed.
Yeah, okay. So I think to be happy in myself, just that happiness, you can't rely on other people for your happiness. So once you've got that yourself,
Okay, that's
that
gotcha.
changes a lot.
So I'm talking about happiness now. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's,
yeah.
I think that's where it stemmed from in all my changes.
Okay.
So
Learn to be happy within yourself,
yeah,
gotcha.
the more I think about it, I'm happy in myself, I'm comfortable in myself. And that's
How do you do that?
showing.
What's
Just
that?
right now.
Good. Elaborate. How did you do it? Give us the blueprint because this is deep. Like, did you read? Did you talk to someone? Did you hear something? How did you for the women? Yeah, for the other
Bake some
women.
cakes.
Yeah, for the other women and men outside. I'm just so stupid. For the,
Then you changed stuff.
You don't know what I was thinking.
I would say.
the fucking not serious.
No. So it all stemmed, I got out of a long-term relationship. This isn't this year or even last year, actually.
But it's still
Yeah, start of last
halfway,
year.
right?
Yeah, so
Okay,
it's,
sure.
it started from that, start of last year, and then just realising that actually I don't need someone else to make me happy, and like going to the gym, baking, like spending more time with friends, and then meeting new people.
Are you saying cultivating a more health? What I'm hearing is you did that by cultivating a more healthy ecosystem for yourself to thrive in, such as doing things you love. Like,
Yeah.
let me spend time with positive people. Let me bake because I love it. Let me go to the gym because it makes me feel good.
Sounds
So-
like you practice it yourself.
yeah, you practice a lot of self-love. So
Yeah,
I'm
I think that's it. I practiced it
look,
without realising that.
that is what it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
And how's it benefiting you now? Like, what's the rewards for that? How have you enjoyed the fruits of that change?
Like I said, I'm very happy now, just in myself. And then I met someone, and it's completely different to the previous relationship, and it's just radiating the happiness now externally, and everyone's seeing it. So it's quite nice.
So would you say that because of your internal development and the happiness that you found within yourself, would you say that it's creating more harmony in life?
Yes.
That's great.
And everything's a lot more positive. Like even just small things, like, you know, what black families are like. So my grandparents would be like, oh, you're looking like round, you're looking, or it'd be like you're looking well.
Basically, they're from a different generation. They don't know about PC.
Yeah,
They don't tell you what it is. Our grandparents
you're
tell us.
looking well, or oh, you look a bit different. But like subtle comments like that. Whereas now it's like you look so good. Have you come here just to show off? It's
Lucky you got subtles, and I was like, hey, Dion, what are you doing, baby? Touching, violating.
Violent.
No, but that belly you had that time was pure.
We didn't know how to tell him. We didn't know how to tell him.
Listen, football twice a week, I got rid of it. But
It's
not about me and my belly, it's about
That was one of the biggest achievements of the year, Shah.
that isn't for me. I'll take it.
That self-love came in full force.
Full force, man. But it's beautiful to me.
This is beautiful to watch.
Yeah, man.
And obviously everybody's sorry to cut in, but what I'm deep as well, we'll still obviously get to yours.
Max.
So far, everybody's development is related in some sort of way. So we talk about obviously self-discipline.
Yeah.
Get me? She had to find a level of self-discipline in order to change her perspective.
Yeah.
Then obviously your perspective now.
Which probably birth new boundaries about what she chooses to experience versus.
Then going back to the boundaries, you guys. And I would not be surprised. But all those things we're talking about is related to growth.
Yeah.
It's you know, it's going beyond where you was before. It might be painful, but you know, it's for the best.
No, that's why it's important. Why I tell people like, what's the reward? People need to see the reward because without the brain learns through rewards. If we don't show the reward, people are like, okay, that's good for you. But if you say, oh, I want to feel like that, there's somebody out there like, you know what, I want to feel a brainless feeling. Maybe I should start working on myself. Maybe I should find a hobby. Or you know what? There's so many people that don't have boundaries. So many people that do not like. Majority of people don't even have a boundary. It's not discussed.
I think sometimes though maybe you don't realise it until someone else says something and you go, oh,
I should be doing that. And it's so weird as well because it depends on it's so important to have certain people around you because some people have a certain type of, but I would never let, you know, I would never let this partner do that. Whoa! And then you start thinking, whoa, am I to this? Am I to that? And then it almost
plays a part.
Yeah, almost, you know, kind of like, it changes your perspective or it makes you start questioning yourself or questioning your status within your relationship. Like, oh, am I letting things go too much or am I pulling the reins too much? You know what I mean? Some people are either
You need
too
reference
clustered or too free. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's hard to find that balance.
Is there a balance? But you're going,
So where you
yeah.
Why do you want to do this? No one turned around and looked at each other. Why do they do this? No, do you know what? The funniest thing that surprised me about myself this year, I learned compassion. I really did. I learned, like, because do you know what is? When I was young and I was trying to pull myself out of poverty for the most part, when I looked around and I realized the reason why most people struggle from my perspective is lack of control of emotions. So I had this poor relationship with emotions for a long time. I saw them as your own self-traps is how I literally saw it. I saw it as something that will hinder your progress. I saw it as something that was just a waste of time. I saw emotions as something that just distracted people from really getting to it because I was having so much material success, not indulging in my emotions. I was in to get things done and move at my pace, and I really enjoyed that. But then what I realized is that compassion came from just me understanding that people are dealing with whatever levels of thought and belief that allows them to operate at that point, meaning that not everyone's learned to have boundaries at that point. So for me, it used to blow my brain. Like when me and Rich, I'm like, I genuinely intellectually could hear it. I just could not understand it. I could intellectually regurgitate and say, yo, I understand why you said that.
Yeah.
But I just could not wrap my head around.
so you're not emotionally attached.
There we go.
Emotionally.
It took him years, guys.
Years, like to really understand, like, what is the reward for not having boundaries? Because all I saw was me taking advantage. So I just didn't get why one would indulge. Compassion becomes, just because I don't understand it doesn't make it less real. Or relevant. Now, that empowered me in ways beyond where I was before because human beings are the commodity. So when you deal with people, If you deal with them correctly, you get the most out of them. And my line of work requires me to get the most out of people. So in order for me to have to excel, compassion was missing. It was missing. I was cold-hearted business person, which materially generated great, but it never lasted long enough. That's what I learned.
Yeah.
When I developed compassion, things lasted long enough, and I got more out of it that way. So, because I just didn't see a reward for compassion. I just didn't get it. I just thought compassion was something that you can have. Like basically, I look at compassion like, I understand why you feel that way, but that's as far as it went. But compassion in the sense that, like, you know what, the removing of judgment. Compassion. That's how I started to define compassion. Our first step in being compassionate is remove judgment first. Start to understand. And so I developed this trigger word for myself, this trigger space for myself. When I feel I'm myself about to judge something, the thing you don't want to hear me say to myself, the first thing I tell myself is that I don't understand. Because that puts me back in learning more.
You know what? You always say that, and you know it's such a
don't
beautiful thing
understand.
because there's post Joe, pre Joe before that where he's getting at man like, Rich,
Because in my mind,
and then there was a moment, and I want you to understand it, 'cause I don't know if I've said it to you, but there was a moment where Joe switched and it was no longer the fighting against what the decisions or whatever. It was more like, no, Dion, I just want to understand. Please tell me.
I just want to understand.
That respectfully as well. It wasn't done in no, egotistical, belittling way. It was just genuinely, I don't know
What's going on?
why you're doing what you're doing, so just please help me understand. And those conversations helped, I think, both of us.
It changed our
It helped
conversation.
both of us because that conversation
Evolved.
helped him to
Absolutely.
understand why it was important to have compassion so you can have understanding.
Yeah.
But it also helped me to understand why it was important to assert myself in a certain way, even though emotionally that might make you feel uncomfortable or trigger you in certain things. But you have to carry yourself in a certain way.
For you, before you got to a point of where you said you don't understand, one thing because this happens a lot in arguments where someone's trying to express themselves and then the person's like da 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 da, and then and then you've explained yourself and then I don't understand. Yeah. So now what I'm trying to get at is like the mindset from you saying that you don't understand, because we talk about compassion. Compassion is when you're able to feel somebody else's pain, basically. Now, if I've come to you, you've upset me, You've upset me, and I said to you, this is what you've done. And then you said, okay, you know what, this is why I've done it. Then I say, man, I don't understand. Now, in that situation, am I lacking something?
So who said the other person saying they don't understand?
Yeah,
your
so
apology?
you've made the explanation, and the other person's basically saying...
Okay, the other person said, I'm sorry, I'm acknowledging, but that person says, I don't understand.
Yeah. Is there a level of... Because
But they genuinely might not understand. They might see it as in like, why are you like this? And lack of understanding breeds frustration. Like, one thing I've learned is when people don't understand things, it's easy to get
do
frustrated.
you feel like they have to have a level of... Because I feel like you have to have a level of openness and, not, for example, like...
They're judging it. When they say they don't understand, there's two different
they're
contexts.
judging. That's what I was about
back
to
to
get
what
to.
Rich was
Yeah.
saying. There's two different ways you can do it. You could be like, I don't understand. Basically, I'm judging it, meaning it's stupid. And it's never, and there's, no, I genuinely, like, I just don't get how we got it.
I think something I've learned this year, if you don't understand, you should take the time to try and
I
see
believe
it.
that.
There
I've
we
always
go.
been on that.
There we go.
Yeah.
So, because for me, what made that happen was, so what will happen is, let's say Rich was going through something, or Buzz will go through something. The way I looked at it is that when you tell me who you are, I'm gonna believe it thoroughly through. So when I see something I don't understand, my judgment was just like, what's going on? Because you're supposed to be
This version.
this way, because this is. But one thing I've understood is that there are layers to people, and in that layer is that even though we're men, even though you may say I feel this way or I'm doing this, there's so many layers I can't see because there's so many layers you're not even explaining either.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because to me, if I befriend you, you're my friend, I see you, and the world can't change except for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So my respect, my admiration is. But what I learned is that it is not their job to live up to my expectation of them. That's the compassion that taught me that. Because human beings are strong on Monday, week on Tuesday. That's normal. See, it took me years to understand that's normal. I'm from the hood. You consistent. You not being consistent get you in trouble. So I didn't understand this. Yeah, I'm this on Monday, on Tuesday you do something else. I just didn't understand it. Because where we come from, bro, your consistency can make you lose respect, lose everything. You gotta be solid. That's I create consistency to being solid. Because with me, people know what they're gonna get from me every day of the week if you talk to me. So I didn't, once again, a lot of times the judgment comes from lack of understanding. So understanding is, you know what, he may not even feel comfortable yet to express that part. So to help me realize, I was realizing the judgment's tripping me up. It's tripping me up from having a better understanding.
Sometimes it blocks you from the understanding.
It blocks you completely.
Because if you're having all this judgment, you're not creating a safe space for that person now to be vulnerable and transparent and open up something.
But we spoke about this in one of the podcasts. We said, look, if you want people to be honest with you, create the space. This is what we're saying. How much are people going to tell you honesty if you're judging them all the time? So what happened was, I started to realize, let me apply this to every part of my life. Like, if I was still in that judgmental place, like, some people wouldn't even be in my life right now because I'll be just judging their past and blah, blah, blah. But I realized, you know what? Joe, it's great for you that you found certain spaces in your life and you're doing that, but everyone ain't there, bro. And it's okay that they're not there. Do you understand what I'm saying? My thing is, my thing at the time where I didn't understand compassion was because life deals with you so harshly when you don't adapt quick enough. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So what I've learned in that compassion is that I've had to redefine it for myself, for my own personal self, and say, you know what? Let me, like you said, pursue the understanding. Pursue it. Pursue the understanding. And understanding doesn't mean verbally only. So let's say me and my partner, we're having an issue. When I say I'm trying to understand, I have to stop doing all the nonsense I'm doing first and foremost. I can't keep doing it and say I don't understand. I'm trying to understand. It doesn't, if I'm with a woman and we've got to the point in a relationship where me going out is a problem, I have to try to understand. First, I stop going out for a second and start to observe and watch what's going on. How did we even get here? What we do is we continue living our life, saying we don't understand. What we do is abandon the person as well, emotionally, because we're saying, I don't understand why. I don't want to feel that. But in reality, what you're doing and saying to the person is that they're not safe with you. They can't. You don't care enough. Yeah. And that's where you start getting called insensitive. Yeah. Because what you don't understand is it's so deep for this person. What you're calling negativity, what you're calling whatever you're calling, is so deep for this individual because I'm not this individual. Especially when it comes to a woman. I don't know what she's internalizing. That's the facts of the matter. I know on a surface level because I'm not her.
Sometimes you have to realize that what you've disciplined is somebody's challenge.
It's right.
Do you know what's so crazy? Do you know what's so
it's
crazy?
literally that.
The more I hear about this, is that it's really like eye-opening but heartbreaking because then there's a lot of people who shouldn't be with a lot of people.
We know that, but the world, you know, the world is.
It's crazy.
This is what makes this world so messy.
That's what makes it so messy.
That's why it's messy.
A lot of times we shouldn't, but obviously we're humans at the same time. We're just
because you got someone you're attracted to. Because the first thing starts off with an attraction, physical or whatever it is, and then is let me get to know you, and then start talking about this whole house thing because the attraction is the house.
The house looks beautiful.
It looks beautiful, and then it's like when you're going in there, the floorboards, the piping,
can you maintain it? Can you fix it? Can you?
And then
the biggest part is the maintaining.
So then it's like when do you down?
Because that's what we're talking about.
When it's done properly, when all the checks have been done, you don't run out of the house without doing the checks.
It's true.
So my thing is like, okay, a lot of people, a lot of families.
So most people rent before they buy.
Bruv, do you know what hit me? I sat.
I know that was like a slow.
I want to bring it back.
That hit well.
I want to bring it back to because I told you that from now on I'm using the house analogy.
Yeah.
But what I've learned is that a lot of families were built by accident and not intentional.
That's so true.
So of course it's going to be messy. Of course it is because this family wasn't built intentionally. Like, how many people sat there like, I want to start a family with you and have the conversation?
How many people do that?
We don't. So by the time it's there, we're learning that. We're learning actually, bruv. Like, without these kids, would we even be here? Yeah. That's the question to ask yourself. Without the children or the obligation, whatever's keeping together, remove that out of the way. Will we actually be here? Because if we won't, that explains all the problems you're having. Because It weren't gonna be that. But I found, once you found your person, as Buzz said, my personal person, once you found that person and you say, I want to spend my life with you based on the fact that we are compatible, we are committed, and this is what we want, I find you have a better fighting chance. I really find that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think it's mad because once again, people just be having sex and babies pop out, and now we're here, and now we got. But once again, when I'm a man, so I'm also gonna put it on me. I'm like, when I'm not disciplined, when I'm not intentional, I create the mess, and this is why I'm against the men just leaving straight away, because I'm like, you created it, you did that, and now you're leaving when it's not. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? But unfortunately, it gets to a point where he has to, because he's gonna do something that he's gonna regret. So before the man does that, I'm telling him leave. That's the only time I'm saying, like, bro, before you lose your mind and do something silly, it's gonna ruin your whole life. Because for a guy, if you make you're one decision away from being homeless.
Or in prison.
Or in prison.
Or dead.
Or dead. You're one decision. One. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's why I put so much emphasis on the man. I'm like, you don't have the same privileges she has. Stop playing that game she's playing.
You're not as protected.
You're not as protected in society as she has. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Because let's assume she's been abusing you for the past 10 years. You turn around and say some foul shit to her once. The world's gonna see us in like, yo man, how could you say that?
They don't talk about that verbal abuse that
They
men
don't
get.
care about
That's
that.
a
No
two-line
one
thing.
is.
Because of
care
that,
about
the
it.
way you save men is by telling them, get on your discipline, because that's what's effing your life up. That's the only thing that's actually effing your life up from a male perspective, is your lack of discipline. Because once you fix that, there's so many problems I realized. See, something I realized young that later on I realized was my superpower is that the discipline I built from young it saved my life in so many ways. Because like I grew up under a regime where you being a rebel would have had you kicked out of the house, bro. Go be a rebel outside. You don't get to be a rebel and stay in the house. I grew up with that, so you couldn't. Whatever you want to do, oh, you're a man now. Go outside and be a man. You don't. There's only one ruler in this house. That's how my mom ran it. It's true. It's what it is. You can't start doing what you mean. So I didn't grow up thinking I could rebel against anything. I just grew up thinking like my discipline is my safe zone. It's where I can build.
That's the way I get away from it all.
That's where I get.
If I do the
So when
discipline,
people talk, so when young men tell me about I just want to be free, there is no freedom without discipline. Freedom is not free, by the way.
Yeah, definitely.
There's
not.
no such thing as
There's a
freedom
price for it.
without discipline, because wherever you go, you take your undisciplined self there and create new problems anyway. So you're never free. Wherever you go, problems will arise. It don't matter what woman you have.
No matter where you go,
You can leave the one you have now. Next one you get, if you have no discipline, you will duplicate the same thing here. Because at some point, you're the common denominator. So the way, if God said, Joe, if you had one thing to say on your deathbed to save men, discipline yourself, please. It will save you. No, real talk. There's no other, how else? Because I'm just like, yo, if you want to be free, discipline yourself. You'll be all the way free. Because wherever you go, your structure, the way you do things, protects you from. It's your inadequacies you're suffering under. It's not life. This thing we act like life is external. It's not. It's you. You understand? We're like, oh, you know this life. You mean your life. Whatever life is there outside of you, it's your life. Innit? Brandy has her one. You have your like. It's how you believe and perceive life that makes life life. Like you always tell me, life is what you make it. And I took to that heavily. I was like, it's true. So then, what am I making it? Because there's only so much I can blame someone else. So me, it's a red flag in my head when I start blaming other people for anything. Or you're mad, my brain goes, Joe, stop that.
That there as well.
Stop that.
That's something I find it hard to. I find it hard to deal with. But excuses, like even when I study a lot of successful people, them themselves hate excuses. They hate giving themselves excuses, which is discipline. Because when you have discipline, you start to realize that most reasons you don't do. Somebody said, I told somebody, or you don't make excuses. And said no, the explanations. I was like, what's the difference between the explanation?
I've used that one before.
I said, what's the difference between the explanation and the excuse? They said, I don't know. They're gonna get
I said it. No, my one says the difference between an excuse and a reason. That's what I've said. And what I meant by it was that, you know, there are reasons why things happen, and having an excuse is saying, oh, because of those reasons, that's why I'm not going to assume responsibility.
But the reason,
that's a difference.
excuses for me is
Excuses saying that is relinquishing responsibility.
Because I think they're the same to me.
no. You think they're the same?
I think they're the same.
I think they're the same as well, and I think the moment you tell me whatever reason it is, one thing that became very apparent to me, especially this year, is when somebody hasn't done what they're supposed to do.
Done what they're supposed to done.
Hey, yeah.
But someone doesn't know what they're supposed to done.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. Wait, too. Let me just get back to what I'm saying. When someone hasn't done what they are supposed to have done, yeah, I don't know again.
He's looping.
Listen, Christmas, man. But what I'm trying to get, what I'm actually trying to get is like them not doing what they're supposed to do. That's when they start giving you an excuse. Whether the explanation is, "Oh, I didn't do," I don't care. You're explaining why you didn't do it.
Exactly. So let me say so. An excuse, yeah, and the reason. Let me give you the both things. So now, an excuse is to seek to lessen the blame attaching to or the fault.
Hey, let's talk about it.
Yeah, that's what the excuse is, to seek to lessen. You know
The
what I'm saying?
fault. So that means not assuming responsibility.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Then a reason is the cause.
That's what I'm saying.
Explanation, but justification. To me, there's a blurred line in it because an excuse.
Oh, justification.
So my reason could help lessen the blame. So that's why I feel like they're the same.
Okay.
Because your reason, you're late. Why are you late? Because I had to go check on my kids and blah, blah, blah.
That was the reason.
That was the reason. But to lessen the blame is the intention.
So it's still an excuse.
So to me, it's still an excuse because you had to show up and you don't.
That's it.
You had to show up and you don't.
really show
I
up
don't
and
know these
don't.
areas that people talk about. I just show
Then
up.
just own it.
No, but
Thank you.
No, but here's my thing:
Just
is
own
that
it. I did not do it.
That's
no,
it.
no.
That
Here's
is no
my thing.
excuse.
Oh, what happened? No, bro. Because
But the reason still matters. That's what I want. The question I want to
you,
ask
mate.
is:
No,
does
not
the
to
reason
everyone.
matter?
not to everyone.
Not to everyone.
Because
Rich.
Say no more.
Let me ask you something.
Say no
Rich, let me
more.
ask you something.
That's cool.
Wait, let me ask you
Saves
something.
me less
Rich.
work because I don't have to explain myself.
You
so
don't.
it's cool.
Rich, own it. That's what we're saying about owning it. We're saying, but Rich, if someone slaps you, do you care about the reason, really?
No.
All right, it don't matter. So it don't matter because once
Then
you're
at that point, there's an excuse.
It's an
Whatever they're
excuse.
telling you.
Because the
there was a-
violation-
There was a fly near you.
yeah. So I thought I saw a fly, so I slept.
But then that says a lot about your character. If you're going to make an excuse or
That's
own
what
it.
started to happen because you see now again.
It chips out your character, though.
Going back to the successful people, going back
They don't
to the
do
people with
excuses.
discipline, they don't
There's no
do
excuse.
excuses.
That is short, but they don't. All this other
they don't do
reasoning.
excuses. They don't give you explanation.
But my thing is, if you've asked me, for example, if you ask me why am I late, you've asked for the reason. You want to know the reason.
No, you've already messed up. So at this point,
Yeah, but if
it's
you've asked, you
take
get my point. Is if you've asked why am I late or why did I do that, you're asking for the reason. My thing is, I'll give you the reason.
No,
but
see,
I
you
also,
but if you took the
misunderstood something.
responsibility,
but I'd
Consider it
also,
like
I would also
lads.
take on the responsibility of saying, listen, the reason is such and such and
Guys,
such.
hey, bro, I'm sorry,
but
I
I'm
shouldn't
sorry.
have.
Thank you. I'm going to
Straight.
give you the reason. The reason is a
hey,
trap.
bro, I'm sorry, man.
Why
Yeah,
are you
the
late?
reason is the trap.
Why does it matter?
That is the trap.
I'm sorry
That
I'm
is the
late.
trap.
It don't matter. It don't change anything.
No, that's cool. So I'm just getting things
This is
straight in
effective
my
communication,
I'm
you know?
getting
just
things
own
straight
it.
in my head. So my thing is that
Own
if
it.
someone asks me, for example, why are you late, and then I go, I'm sorry, and then don't explain myself.
I'm sorry I'm
Is
late.
that
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm sorry
And I
I'm
don't
late.
have to explain
Yeah,
myself.
because
I'm sorry
you're
I'm
already late.
No problem.
matter
No,
what
I get
excuse
it.
you
I get it.
give,
Not
you're
now,
late.
because this is the
'Cause
thing.
people are asking
Sometimes
you.
I have problems
No, he's
with
actually
social
learning
cues.
himself
Yeah.
all
No,
the
I am
time.
learning because sometimes, socially we do things that are not as authentic or transparent as they're supposed to be. Do you know what I mean? So, for example, someone asking you why are you late when they don't give a shit about why you're late is like, to me, I don't get that. Why you've asked me
Because-
a question, I'm trying to
But you're
authentically
looking at
answer
it
that.
from a logical point.
This is my
Not
point.
everyone is going to be logical.
Yeah, but
So if they
I'm talking to another man, I expect him
Hey,
to be very
man.
logical.
But back to what I learned.
Yeah.
But what I've learned, I can't put my expectations on people.
You're right.
Gender or
no,
not.
but once again, this is good learning.
This
for
is
me
what we're
because
saying.
Now, once again, this is helping me adjust my boundaries.
Yeah.
Because my boundaries was like in that space. I'm thinking me
That's-
giving you the reason is actually like I'm
Helping to-
like I'm being honest with you. Do you understand? I'm thinking I'm doing something good because I'm telling you the truth. But and that's why I used to get frustrated when people will label that as, oh, you're just having an excuse. And I'm like annoyed because you've asked me for transparency. I've given it to you, and now you're throwing it back in my face.
Basically, what they mean
telling
is-
me that it's an excuse.
Rich,
no,
what-
brother, because
Rich,
I
what it
already told
means-
you sorry, and I accept that. I've already taken
No,
responsibility.
but Rich, what it means
So I was
is-
always confused in that area.
When they ask why you late, most people are just looking for a way for you to make them feel better about your mistake. A lot of the time it's like, meaning when they say, why are you late? It don't really matter in logical terms. But a lot of times people ask that question, why are you late? To see if you have, basically they put the responsibility on you to make their feelings feel a bit more better. That's why they're asking the question. So if I'm saying, oh, why are you late? The whole point in my head is like, hopefully you give me an answer that quails that, because I can't manage how I feel about it. You help me manage by telling me. But chances are, whatever you say, really,
it's not gonna work anyway.
So when people say, oh, but why are you late? I apologize. I have no excuses for you. This is what I literally, I have no excuse for you. Anything I have for you is an excuse.
I actually say that. I have no excuses.
I have no excuses for you.
I
have a reason. What you can't say. You might say I have a reason, but I don't think it matters. The fact is, I showed up late and I shouldn't have. I should have been more disciplined.
It's almost like you submit in that moment.
I've always neutralized.
You get.
Because I own it in the moment.
I feel like excuses are
2024, here we come, baby.
No, sometimes it might be like, no, some people are too
I'm not giving no excuses, no reason.
No, but don't you feel like excuses is triggered to ego? Like, when you come straight through, apologize, I messed up, it's almost like you submitted to that situation. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know what, I am in the wrong. I'm gonna take responsibility.
It's quite interesting though, because when people,
but again,
that when people
ask you in front of other people,
feel some type of way about. I used to feel some type of way about the fact that you feel some type of way. Like, why you feel? What do you mean? Like,
no, because once again, things are important.
Discipline,
to people.
baby.
So what I realized about things are important to people. So when something's important to someone, how they're measuring in their head is completely separate from how you're seeing it. Because like you said, you're just trying to be honest about it. You're like, wait. But just because you're honest doesn't mean people are going to respond positively to you. This is what you have to take on by honesty.
Once again, which is why even my honesty, it was one thing I've learned in this year as well, is that even that I have to put that within a boundary, because I realized that not everybody knows what to do with honesty. Not everyone could be trusted with that honesty. Do you understand? A lot of people will take advantage and use it just against.
There's one or two things. That's one way, and there's always like, be honest and deal with the consequences of the honesty. Long term, the honesty makes so much sense. Yeah. So if I'm being honest with you and you're flaring up and you're like buzzing, you start flipping, yeah, it's your right to flip. It's your right not to even talk to me again.
Yeah.
But my consciousness ain't about your validation for my honesty. My validation comes from I told you the truth. That's my responsibility, obligation.
That's a conversation with God. As
I responded to my obligation by just telling you what it is in the most compassionate, respectful way I can, because we can't forget that. Can't be like, what? I was late in it. That's the realness of it. I'm just being real. I'm telling my truth.
It's immature.
Yeah, it's immature. But if I say, look, what's the reason you're late? I don't have an excuse for you. I have my own personal issues, but that's for me. And blah, blah, blah. Some be like, yeah, but I still want to know why you're late.
That's disrespect now.
Now, hold on. Right, so I'm saying, so that's the next part. But I still want to know why you're late. I'm not. And I have to remind people, there's no obligation here. I've just told you, I have personal things. I don't want to give you an excuse. I just need to do better. Now that person is now demonstrating their own lack of maturity towards you. Now the ball's back in your court. Now you can decide to walk the and be like,
you know
I've
so
just
crazy? I
explained to you, I have my personal.
It's clearing up so
personal.
See, that's
So if you,
it's interesting
you
because
be feeling bad, but you're realizing they've messed up. They've messed it up.
Yeah.
You have assumed responsibility for your action, and somebody's still trying to guilt trip you because you said,
because what they're saying is, make
apologize.
me feel good about what you did, but it's not my job to make
why?
you feel good about what I
understand.
did. All I could do is be honestly respectful. I don't jump into my reason. The first thing I say, I'm like, it's personal reasons, because it is. So, because most times if I'm late for something, it's something important that happened. But it's my personal reasons. I let them know I don't want to give you an excuse. I accept that I'm wrong, and I need to be more disciplined in that area. People don't really rebut me when I say that, but just when they do, but I still want an explanation. Now I got a chance to like, but I don't feel like giving an explanation. That's my prerogative as well. See, people forget, they think they're obligated
to that space.
To that space.
But
I have to remind them, no, I can create that distance. I'm like, hold on, no, I don't think it's my personal.
You know what? In that space,
I don't have one for
sometimes
you.
I feel like I relinquish, certain things, my own vulnerabilities when I don't necessarily want to, but it's because I feel uncomfortable.
That's my point.
Moment.
But if I'm comfortable,
so I'm like, you know what? Let me just.
No, if I'm uncomfortable, that's the.
But I mean, like some people use that.
No, but if I'm comfortable,
tactic.
like if it's us lot, right? I've got a relationship with someone that I trust. I give you the reason. I'm like, no, this is what really happened. Blah. But I'm sorry, just generally in life, I have to. If we don't have that relationship where you've demonstrated to me
that you could be trusted,
that you actually care enough and can be trusted, then I'm not jumping into it. I'm assessing the situation. So it's one of the things you just go play it by ear. You just go watch the situation. If it's my boss at work, sir, I have no excuse for you. I have no reason for you. I have some personal things, and I need to be on top of that.
And they're paying you
and
for
do
your
better
time.
that.
Yeah.
So therefore,
Bro.
do you understand what I'm saying? Now, if I'm out and about with people, why did you do that? Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do. But if you're like, bro, I tell people all the time, I don't care if someone's done something wrong with you. If you react to the point where they feel away, they will have every right to respond back to you disrespectfully. So, for example, if someone's telling you, look, I'm sorry, I need to do better with that, and they're owning it, and you decide to take a step further because you can't control your emotions, they have every right to tell you, shut up and move off.
Yeah.
Society will tell you feel obligated because they did you wrong. Fair enough, but once, in my humble opinion, if that person decides to own it, and you are still angry for it, that's your prerogative. But it's also my prerogative not to
Not care.
care.
That's
so,
one thing as
So
well.
it's a middle ground. Just because you might do something, it depends what you do to me. I might be angry for life, but that's up to me. But you don't have to be obligated to make me feel good about it moving forward. So that's what I'm saying in terms of those situations. There's a book I'm recommending to everyone. Yeah, this book. Once I finished this book, it was the last time I had an argument with anyone.
Oh, non-violent.
Non-violent communication by Master
Still need
P.
to
Jordan.
get through that, man.
I learned in what they call inflammatory language.
That's what ignite
An example of inflammatory language. Once I read this book, I came home one day and my wife went to argue me about something. I felt my natural reaction to spring in to defend most of my arguments to defend myself.
That's what.
It wasn't because of any.
Two defenders going
No,
at each
to
other.
defend, right?
No, one attacks and one's a defender, and then you start changing positions.
Same position.
Role reversals,
So, but
yeah.
then, as I was about to say something, it kind of just dawned on me. It's like, Joe, shh. Wait for a second. I'm listening. I'm listening. This is about your feelings. I wasn't really in my feelings about the subject.
Yeah.
So, all I had to do was hear her out. Just hear her out. Okay. Acknowledge, I hear what you're saying. These are the changes I need to make. No problem. And wait until there is a safe line of communication, meaning when you're calm, and you might not be in that position. That's why with me, if a woman tells me something, I take a day or two to sit on it. I'm not reactive no more. I used to be. Once I read that book, I realized even if I have a lot to say in that moment, I'm going to keep it to myself. Give me a day. Let me digest what you said. And make sense of it. In a non-judgmental way. Don't go home like, my dickhead, what she say? You think you're having this fake argument with yourself. No. Go home and be like, no, really, truly, okay.
We've all been there.
I disagree. Yeah,
Trust me, many nights.
Yeah, I could be there and be like, you know what? I disagree with what she's saying. No, I'm not feeling it. But hold on a minute. There's a reason why she's saying it. Why? What am I missing? Then I try to sit on it more. I always see where I did something. So by the time I come back to talk to you, I've digested what you've said. And I can deal with the situation. The problem is, it wants to do it in that moment. I think it's a horrible idea. Don't be the person that deals
No,
with things in the
because you
moment.
get the people that tell you, I agree with that. I don't
Because
feel like
I need time to
everybody
digest what you said.
But you got
I just got
people-
my response.
Do you know what that is?
I'm eager for my response, but I've not heard
anxiety.
you.
That's anxiety.
That's what I was about to
that's
say.
Okay.
It's anxiety.
Break it down, break it down,
Some
please.
some people see you trying to call or walk away from the situation almost like sweeping it underneath the rug.
We don't walk off our person's anger. I don't do that. But
No, not necessarily walk off.
obviously, if you get rude, I can walk off because you give me like.
Yeah, but
so
I'm
I
saying,
don't have to sit and.
I'm saying, you know, you have a heated argument with
I
someone.
listen to you.
It doesn't. There's no sure resolution. But it's like you
It's
know
the
what?
unresolvedness
But
of
then
it.
it's like
When
this
we
argument.
argued, he's right. There is no sure relationship. I'm saying, before you jump into the argument, I've heard what you said.
No, but this is what my point. You've heard what you said.
I've heard what you said.
You're trying to.
I'm
You're
not
trying
gonna
to.
digest it.
You're trying to solve a particular problem, yeah. And then this person is adamant that no, you know what? I'm not happy with the way you've done it. Yeah, and
It's
then that's that. Then it's cool. It's fine. Then it's gone back to normal, as they would say.
Yeah.
But then you have another argument with a person, and I'm telling you, well, you've done something new, and you didn't even deal with the one you've done
That's
before.
fine. Listen,
That's
guys,
swept underneath the carpet.
You have to
man.
understand, you're trying to think for you and her. Stop doing that. How she wants to feel is her prerogative and right. How you want to feel is your prerogative and right. There is no argument.
That's cool in science terms, relationship wise.
No, it's the same thing. No, it's once again, stop worrying about what the other person is seeing.
Hey, it's true.
I'm worried about, I can't control what you're seeing. Why am I worried about what you're seeing? I can't.
Sorry.
It's not my prerogative. It's not my obligation to worry about what you're seeing. My job is to listen to you, take in what you're saying, acknowledge some stuff. I need to go and digest it my way. You can't force me or control me to argue with you or answer in that moment. I don't have to. It's not my obligation to. What I can do is
Put my
listen.
hand up like I'm.
No, all I can do is listen, acknowledge, and take in.
Okay.
That's what my obligation
Here's
is.
my thing.
That sounds
Here's
cool.
my thing. Yeah, is that
I'm way too emotional.
my thought process with that is that, and I might be wrong, you are obligated because you're obligated to this relationship. So this relationship
This is not part of the work we're talking about.
No, but
Brilliant.
my point is that this relationship is a separate entity out of that exists outside of me and you, that we've joined, that we are part of. This entity we both take responsibility of. So if there's something going wrong with our relationship, that third entity, we are both obligated to be in that relationship to resolve it. So in my mind, when you're walking away from the situation and you're leaving it unresolved, to me, in my mind, I'm seeing that as you abandoning the relationship.
I understand that perspective.
Do you understand? And then that me seeing you abandoning that relationship is what then starts to create the anxiety of like, no, because I want that relationship. So it's like, no, you need to come back.
I love that.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You need to come back to this. So if you moving away,
In Love Addiction, they talk about it. I agree with what you said. What I'm saying is, fixing it doesn't mean I have to fix it on the spot, is what I'm saying. Who told you that fixing it means I have to do it on the spot?
no,
No, that's
I
what I'm
get it.
saying.
You
In
learn
that
that,
moment-
but I'm saying when you're dealing with anxiety,
Of course,
doesn't-
it takes
that don't
off.
make no
But one
sense.
thing
But
that was
the
about
funny thing
external
is-
issues
but my
that are
thing
coming
is-
into new issues. You having prior issues or triggers or traumas, however we want to put it, that are coming to a new relationship. This is the part of the healing that you need to
But that's what
identify.
To deal with that
100%.
first.
Yeah.
I can be transparent and vulnerable right now and say that that's what I've had to work with. That's one of the
Whilst
big
being
things
in a
that,
relationship,
yeah.
But
But
guys-
I've had to learn from
you've never
going
had
from
to-
that guy who gets anxious about.
But you're not fixing it. My point is,
to giving her that space and understanding that by me giving her that space is me giving
so
her
weird.
respect. It's respecting her. It's also respecting the relationship, because guess what? When I give her that space, she comes back to the relationship in a better state.
There we go.
Ready to evolve.
Back to my point.
I had to trust the process.
Yeah.
that's my
And
point.
when I learned to trust the process, the anxieties.
But all the
removed.
stuff we do, arguing, ain't fixing nothing anyway. So you trying to like, come on, what are you fixing?
That's
You're
what
making
it
it
was.
worse.
Creates more problems.
Yeah, so you're not
Yeah.
fixing
Sometimes
anything.
you have to realise
There
you're
is no
banging your head on the
resolution.
wall, yeah.
A resolution doesn't mean it has to happen there. Why are we putting time frames on the resolution?
You're right. Bro.
Bruv, I'm not in the habit of trying to control. Like, because that will drain you. Do you understand what I'm saying? In that moment, what I've learned is all I do is make it worse. When I react and just let things fly out my mouth, I have to take a second step back and be like, wait a minute. For me as a man, that's how I'm doing it. I'm like, no, you ain't gonna force me into no unwanted battle. Back to the emotional, this is emotional discipline.
Yeah.
Emotional discipline says, just because I'm triggered doesn't mean I have to act on it.
Yes. Facts.
I can listen to a woman talk and be triggered the whole time she's talking and sit quietly. That's how far my discipline will take me. I'll be triggered the whole time thinking, oh my God. But I gotta give you time to take in as much information as I possibly can. I'm like, all right, give me a second. Because I can't resolve when I'm triggered. I'm useless to you when I'm triggered. I'm harmful.
An angry man is a stupid man.
I'm harmful to you. I'm harmful to the situation when I'm triggered.
Scientifically proven.
So therefore, in my head, I'm just like, guys, you're the, if, you know, we talk about men having more logic and but the times we're supposed to demonstrate that, we don't. We do the same thing the woman does.
We do fumble.
We fumble, but I don't understand.
Get drawn in.
Try to act like we're not being emotional, but
No,
anger
we
is an
are.
emotion, guys. Anger is an
would-
emotion.
guys out there, you will never beat a woman in an emotional game.
Oh,
Stop
no
it.
way. Hell
Stop it. You're not going to
Hold
win.
on, you stupid or what?
When you get worked
That's
up as a
crazy.
man, you build so much cholesterol in your body.
Yeah, that's stress.
Now, let me tell you something.
she will kill you.
The reason
That's
why
what they say. Them stressful men.
Wait, guys, 1 second.
Sorry.
So, because I want to give you some health thing, what happens to men and how they start developing heart complications, other problems. Because that cholesterol is there to put the body into fight mode. Do you understand? When the man's in that space, your body don't know context. Your mind does. Your body just says you're under stress.
Do this.
And just in case fight or flight is about to kick in, your body produces a certain type of cholesterol that helps your body move to fight. When you're with a woman and you're building cholesterol, bro, that's just heart palpitations waiting for you. Because you don't release it nowhere.
Yeah.
You can destroy yourself because you don't release it nowhere. You understand what I'm saying? This is why I'm like, yo, it's just stress for you. Her body is built to
stress.
argue with you
It's built for
constantly.
stress. It's built
right? I wouldn't say built for stress.
She brings a whole book.
I wouldn't say built for
That's
stress.
deep, man.
She
That's
can
deep.
take that.
Yeah, I know, but I won't say that because women get stressed out. I don't
women are
wait,
not
do the
built
same
for
thing. They
stress,
don't build
I
for
know.
stress. Yeah, we can't say
I'm not
that.
saying built for stress, but
But-
they can handle it.
I can't even say that either. I don't even want to
think so?
co-sign what they can
Is
handle,
that
what
where
they
you
can
want
handle.
to go?
These guys are leaving me
Nah,
out.
we can't.
Rich.
We ain't finna take that rap, dog. We just say, but what we're saying
Edit
is,
that out.
yeah. So what I mean, what we're saying, what my point is, what we're saying is that in that moment, you as a guy, you need to fight to deal with it.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? The woman's still stressed, that's still going through the biological things of stress. But it affects you differently is the point I'm making. It just affects your health completely differently. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like, you can't be stressing and arguing. I've had to realize as a grown man, like, bro, me arguing with you is what? Like, maybe I'm wrong here, but I'm like, bro, I can't think of a single reason to argue with a female. For what? What do I get out of it? What's my outcome? And have I benefited? Did she even hear me? First and foremost.
Probably not.
Probably
And
not.
it just creates pain, man.
It creates pain that you end up paying for.
And then
Because I come back to bite you in the
and I
ass.
feel like
You know
what
what I'm
happens is things get said that wasn't even
part of the whole
relevant
thing.
before. It's like the house is on fire.
that's
and you
that
start
toxic
throwing
You
stuff.
go back in the
You throw- you
archives.
start-
That's when it gets messy. The gloves is
Yeah.
off.
You
and
start
it gets
throwing
messy.
petrol all
Yeah.
over the house or whatever.
It's like,
yeah,
it's so funny because people get in an argument and it becomes about something completely different.
and your head's fat. It's like, what? So that means all this time you
Yeah, that's how they get you, though. That's how they
No,
get
do
you.
you know,
They
that's
want you pondering
that's the
on
story.
that shit.
Yeah,
do you know
yeah,
what
yeah.
that women do?
Pondering on that
That's
shit.
Guys do as well. You say one little,
No,
you wanna stab me in my back, huh?
because it becomes a hurt fest.
Yeah.
I stab you, you stab me.
Yeah,
I
that's
stab
where it's chook me.
But do what happens? The way before, because me as a man, the way I used to fall, I used to get caught up in the side arguments, and I used to tell man them, it's
The micro argument.
don't get caught up in the side argument.
distraction.
What is the issue? First of all, women don't talk from point A to point B.
No, they don't do linear.
Your brain's waiting for,
It's like this.
okay, give me point A and point B. No. She's going to go around and around. She'll say, I can't respond in the moment. Let me go back
But
and
then
untangle.
this goes back to what
Yeah.
I said. We've already planned the argument in our head.
Facts.
That's
So
scary.
whether you're
though.
going
It's
against
scary.
the script, we've had
scary.
that in our heads. We've sat there. We've
I've had
thought about
possible
it.
scenarios and
Yes,
I've
we've
seen it.
got
You know
an
when you're
answer
in
for
motion
all
with
your
the argument,
answers.
but in my conscious mind is picking up the pattern. I'm like, no, she's actually got this on some dash.
Do you know it's
She's
like some
crazy.
bank? It's like a bank job.
What do I do?
They're gonna try and escape through the back.
Trying to cover the
But-
back. Trying to use this
I,
on
you blow my brains because now I've realised that
She come in, she'll
She's
say,
so strapped with the argument.
the argument
Bro.
is the draw out. But
How do you win, guys? How do you win?
discipline. Don't say nothing.
No face, no case.
No
I
say
treat
nothing. No
every-
comment.
I used
No
to treat
comment.
every interaction.
Things are no commenting.
No
man.
No, I think treat her fed.
How it was when
Guys,
you was young, bro.
she's
Don't
fed.
comment. She is.
She's fed.
She is the op.
You have the right to
Joking.
remain silent. Everything you say will be used against
But see,
you
they don't read our
in the
rights.
future problems.
It's true.
Yeah? When the police read you your rights, after what?
No, this is what.
Wait,
it
no,
is.
guys, sorry. When the police read you your rights?
It's easier
It's after
said
they've
than done,
arrested
man.
you.
No, before they arrested you. They read
Yeah,
your
no,
rights
while
while they
they
arrested
arrested
you.
you.
Before they arrest you,
They read your rights.
they read your rights. Before they read your rights, what's happening?
You're being handcuffed.
You've confirmed to them that you're on some BS. Yeah? They've confirmed somehow for your, even if you ask for a license, you don't say
Oh
nothing.
yeah, you're
I-
giving them evidence.
Thank you. You've given them something to arrest you for.
Yeah.
Suspicion. There we go. So your woman's fed. She's always on suspicion. Her default setting of you is suspicion. Yeah? So
default setting.
your discipline says, you know what? The minute you start going off with something, mouth shut. You see, you can't use what I haven't given you. You have to make up stuff.
Yeah,
and now once you're making up stuff, it becomes clear to me that this ain't really.
Yeah, I don't need to engage.
I don't need to engage because it ain't even real.
Yeah.
So once you're.
And then what you say now is what will be used against you.
There we go.
Do you know how many
In the
times?
next argument.
In the next argument.
No,
Next
some-
20 arguments.
No, sometimes it's in there because they'll
No,
come
it's
to you
argument.
with the assumption, just like Fed would do. They'll come to you like suspicion about
No comment.
something completely.
No
Oh,
comment.
we saw your tires a
comment.
bit flat.
That's
They
comment.
searched the whole car, find the weed. I knew you had drugs. You did, bruh. You did not.
Bro, the reality of it
You
is,
did not.
even in
That's
that
not what
moment,
you came
when,
for.
that's why I said to guys, in that moment, stop arguing, gather your thoughts, watch what's going on, listen to what she's saying. Now, do you know what? Did I switch the game around? I only responded when she spoke calmly and softly.
Yes, that's
Because the only way you're gonna get me to talk to you is on a calm level. Once you're yelling, I go zero. You get nothing from me. You can run for days. I won't touch you, nothing. Then anytime you come to me softly, I'm sorry, I'll respond properly.
train
Because I
teach
need you to remember, if you want something, if you want me to communicate with you,
You have to come
it's
a
like
certain way.
this. Oh, you want to shout and yell? You're going to be on your own and you have nothing from me. I'll shut down because that's not a communicative thing. It's you wanting smoke. As Bryson, she's only got the thing strapped. So in my mind, I'm like, well, until you want to come to me for conversation,
This comes a bit low.
then I can have conversation. But if
Just
you come
put
to
it
me
on
on
the table.
smoke, then you want smoke. So I go, that's what my discipline says. No matter how triggered I am, I've learned to shut my mouth.
Yeah.
I treat police
Bring
like
on
that.
next year, man.
You understand what I'm saying?
What's
But
that?
in my head, I'm like, bro, guys, don't stress yourself out with arguments. Stop trying to make a point. Listen, I got to an age where I don't even give a damn about the point. I don't even care. Because not guys tell me, yeah, but next time she's gonna think. Stop thinking for her.
No, you know why?
Stop
Because
thinking
we
for her.
keep thinking that we're gonna earn respect through the argument. Through
No,
winning the
you'll
argument.
never,
Nah.
ever,
Hey,
ever,
I've
ever.
learned so much
If you
today,
ever think you've won the argument,
You are-
delusional.
See what I
You've
See
given
what
her
happened.
more evidence than she could handle, and she's going back to manage that shit. That's
She's
all that is.
creating the
Yeah,
next
she's like, oh,
argument.
we taking this to the
Yeah.
higher court.
Or,
You
real
thought this
talk.
was a small thing.
A woman like, listen to me. Listen, if all you have is shine arguments and it's I'm doing this, I'm doing that, we have two simple options here. Either we work it out as adults or we separate. Either we work it out as adults. So what we
Because
cannot,
clearly we don't have the maturity.
what will never be an option for me is this toxic. That's never an
Cycle,
option
yeah.
for me. It's an option for you. So you decide. Because I'll tell straight up and down. If you want to argue, you want to fight, you want to do all of that, that's your prerogative. We can either separate until you figure out whether or not I'm the problem or whatnot, or we talk as human beings. You make the decision. The problem with most men, they don't stick to nothing. They don't stick to nothing. They'll tell the girl blah, blah, blah.
Lack of discipline.
Then go back and, do you understand what I'm saying? So how is she, guys, if you lose respect in a relationship, just know you're done. I'm going to keep saying until thy kingdom come. Just know you're done. Because whatever you say will have no meaning to her.
Yeah.
Please understand, I don't give a damn what you're doing. All your experience with her is her mood swings. When she's happy with you, everything's going well and you don't get along. But they should revert back to how she really feels about you when it's conflict. And you get lost in it because you want to believe it so much that you get with the program. And I'm saying to guys, stop. Put a stop to it. No. If we're going to disagree,
Everyone should be happy in their life and
in
their
their
relationship.
freaking life, in the relationship. And the only way you can do that is like, bro, you're not attached to my happiness. So I'm happy whether you're here or not.
But you're attached to theirs, so that's the issue.
That's the issue.
That's unbalanced.
But I'm not interested in fighting for things that are not in my control. I only fight for what I own, which is me. I can't fight for that. I fight for you to listen to me, fight for you to love me. None of it makes sense to me. So all I can do is listen to you, take you in. Cool, I've heard what you're saying. Let me go and process it. Really what I'm saying to myself, Joe, go and stretch your eyes. Go and pattern yourself.
So do
tactfully.
you own a relationship?
No. It is so. It's a
share that, you
It
share
is
that.
toxic to
How
think
would you
own
own?
a
I don't
relationship.
No.
get that.
That was because I needed to ask that question
Yeah,
in
for
a
sure.
certain way because
You don't own a
it's
relationship.
shifting my mind.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a relationship is something we both own.
Nobody
Yeah.
owns it.
But
You share
it's
it.
right.
You
You
share.
don't own it. You share it. So because when you look at it that way, it's like, oh, okay, I get it now. So I can only have a relationship with someone who's willing to share.
All right, stop there. So that's why you don't argue because she's not willing to share. You get it? That's why you don't say nothing. I only speak when you're willing to share. I can't. What are we gonna do? Literally, I feel like when it was Shine at me, I feel like she put some wall up, so I can't even get to you anyway.
Yeah.
So what am I gonna say that's worth a dime in that moment? So that's why I'm like, nah, there's no ownership in relationship.
Yeah.
There is no such thing. We are sharing. Right now, we're not sharing. You shouting.
You're not sharing your shot.
Do you understand what I'm saying? But
We ain't sharing your
But
shot.
the-
She's sharing the heat though.
you know what I'm saying?
She's sharing that smoke.
But in my mind, it's like
Pew.
you're sharing the smoke, and I'm like, so we're supposed to raise a family through your smoke.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. I can't raise.
See,
what
some
we
may
do?
say that's an excuse.
We're gonna raise a relationship for your smoke, but it's yours. But I don't get it. What am I supposed to do when you're yelling and being disrespectful? Tell me, what am I supposed to do in that moment? I genuinely don't know what
You're
to
meant
do.
to hold it like a child. You're being told off by somebody that you chose and that you. No, because
No,
that's what it is.
bullshit. No,
Somebody
real.
you
No,
chose.
I like
speak
it,
on
though,
it.
because
you,
women
you brought into your life.
Life.
You made them part of your thing. Now they're yelling at you and talking to you like a child because they feel like they have
You're making
put
him
in the
you're-
groundwork to be around
You're
you
boying
and
him.
with you.
You're boying
Is
him.
that, bro? It don't even make
in
no
that
sense.
in those moments, it's true, bro. Like preach it, because that's deep. Because to me, picking the right person is where it starts first and foremost.
Yeah.
Secondly, if the woman's talking to you where you don't like, bro, I can go cold as well. You understand? Because then the warmth I'll focus purely on my obligations. What's my obligations? There'll be no smiling from me for you. There'll be none of that for you. See, in order for us to have the privilege of enjoying each other's company, it has to be based on respect, compassion, and understanding. If we lose that, then hold on a minute,
What do
because
we really
I
have?
refuse to interact on a toxic
Because
level. with
I
you.
want to share a relationship,
Right.
not the bullshit.
Not the bullshit. Because at the end of the day, I'm not saying she can't disagree with me, she can't be mad. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that once I've taken responsibility and I'm looking at it, because the problem with it is, when I say to guys don't respond, it's not like, oh, just be quiet and just take the insult. That's not what I'm saying to you. But understand, if she's in that mode, nothing you're saying is registering. Just know that, number one.
She's not listening.
So, secondly, I might tell you, like, listen, please don't talk to me like that. I don't care how mad we all are. We're crossing certain lines. She catches, bro, I will just shut down at that point. Because there's no point. Because in my mind, I'm like, no, you don't talk to me, bro. What's the obligation we got to do? The kids? Okay, let me go take them out. What do you need to? And I'll just treat it like that. And I'll leave you to it. Whether you double back around, it's your business. But this is how we're rolling from now on. Because you're telling me this relationship ain't about you. It's about us. So if you're about you, I'm going to give you time. You're about you. You're about you right now. Maybe that's what you need to do. But I'm definitely not sleeping with you. And I'm not taking you out nowhere. There'll be no romance. You can sit there. When you decide to come and talk to me on a level, then I'll open up about what I think and feel. Because in the midst of that argument, what are we talking about? Nothing. There's nothing to talk about.
No, we're talking about the other person's, the significant.
Because if you want me to understand something and understand your pain, talk to me properly. Simple as. Then I can understand, I can engage.
But I do
be
understand,
remorseful.
hurt people do hurt people. Some people,
If you're hurt and that's how
they communicate.
Then in my head, then first thing I keep thinking to myself is like, what woman did you pick? Back to my point, most men didn't pick their woman. They ended up in a situationship with the woman. So you're dealing with it. You're dealing with your situationship. She was never, the thing, when men are picking women, the only way you can pick a woman first is by knowing yourself first. You have to know who you are first on a realist level before you even pick the woman. Because you don't even know which one's good for you. Man, I've been telling me when I was young, I need a boss bitch, and I'm like, alright. When she starts bossing up on you, don't cry about it. Because I'm like, what do you mean? Because I want an independent woman. Are you sure? Independent means by yourself. You understand what I'm saying? What do you
That
mean?
means she don't need you for
So
that.
I'm not saying she wants you, but define it within yourself what it looks like and what it means. So when you're gay, because there's some independent women very respectful and very polite and loving, caring, they're still independent. There's some women that are boss women outside, they come home and care.
for men. There's, you know,
Some of them don't, but some of them also
Yeah, they
be
do,
boss
they
and have
do,
a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
respect for
yeah,
them.
yeah, no.
So you have to define it. Because if you're a man saying you want a boss woman, you better be a boss yourself. Not in your belief on yourself. No, you are the boss of your life. So, because you won't like it. You won't like what you're thinking. It is my belief that, look, we're all adults, man. At the end of the day, a relationship, it's not by force. Man, people act like you gotta stay in it. Like, says who? No, real talk, says who though? Like, on some real, we volunteer to be
when
here.
it comes to religious practices and obviously,
I think it's generational.
yeah, I think it is a mindset.
I can only work it out with someone who wants to work it out with me. I don't have to work it out with someone that don't
No,
work out with
but
me.
I think
I don't have to want someone that don't work
now you would just leave.
with me. Not necessarily
But-
leave. I'm
no,
talking about,
but-
yeah. Go on.
Before you would just kind of
Stick in there.
accept your fate. You just try and like
'Cause the
try
divorce
again and
level
try
now
again.
is
Damage
way-
control.
Yeah.
The divorce level now is higher now than it was probably 10, 20,
And to
30
be
years
honest,
ago.
I think it was a bad thing. They later on, I'm like, no, snot. Let's be divorced before we end up killing each other, please. Let's be divorced, because what we're going to do, spend 50 years of pain for what? Because we didn't want to get divorced? No.
I think
No,
again,
no, no.
like we've rightly
That makes no
established,
sense to me.
We've now seen from a Western perspective anyway that
Yeah.
divorce is on the rise because people are now realizing that dealing with homes where there is no love,
It don't
or,
work.
You know, just based upon the
It's
children.
not good for the kids either.
Yeah,
If I
it doesn't
don't
always
want to grow up
have
in a house.
the-
As much as I would love to grow up with my mom and dad, I don't want to grow up in a house where they're arguing and fighting and thinking that, no,
That's
don't be
the
here.
normal.
That's not good for me as a child.
Yeah.
That's gonna F me up. I'm gonna go around thinking this is how it's supposed to be. Carnage. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't think it's good for the kid. I think it's selfish. When two parents become selfish, kids suffer. Period. There's no version where the kid don't suffer. I have experience as a kid that suffered because my parents were being selfish. So it would never work out for me. Because everyone's thinking about them so much that they're not looking at it like, yo, I get why divorces are. A lot of time people get in situations without being prepared and doing the work. That's why most time they divorce as well. People are like, but people change and blah, blah. To me, I don't subscribe to that. Whether
You got to change them for their now.
I have to accept that if you don't change at all, and this is who you are, can I deal with it? Because before you go marry someone and have a child with someone, you're supposed to see them through their seasons, but that's not what happens. Get the girl pregnant, now we're together. That's not a family, man. That's not. Because you didn't even want her like that. The child made you stay. It weren't that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I just think we're bringing kids into a new world. Gen Z are grew up in a world where their parents was like, yeah, we're not.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I wonder why they're so emotional. Because my nigga, they didn't grow up in a house where they saw their parents in love with each other. I didn't grow up in a world where parents were in love. I never saw one of my uncles, aunties buy a flower, freaking pick her up, show my aunt. I ain't never seen it.
You see on TV before
On
you see it at home.
TV, you understand? So in my mind, I'm like, so who benefits from this? For my own insecurity or my own traumas is what I'm trying to feed. But my children, they're looking at us like, oh, yeah, your wife's supposed to, you're always supposed to shower you. Your man's supposed to shower you. That's all we're teaching them in our own selfish way, because we're just about us and our feelings, but we're forgetting like, dog, it does not work. You cannot cheat this life. You either do the work or you don't. So if I'm with a woman, I don't want to do the work, that's why I use the word separation. I don't use the word leave. Separation means let's go and reconfigure, reset. What I feel about separation is a reset. Let's go and really think
That has to be an option.
about who the problem is.
I think
I'm not quick to
separation is
leave,
important.
but I think separation is important. Let's go really think about what
Because
we're
it's a
talking
major
to.
step of it's like a proactive action.
It can be a tool. Separation doesn't mean
it's a tool.
permanent. It can be a tool because what we're gonna do? Argue every day. No one's listening. Everyone's going back and forth. For what? And we're calling it
Sometimes it's good
separation.
to miss someone.
Yeah, you might be not.
You realize that the heart grows fonder. Oh, you're like, man, I ain't missing it.
Right.
What
What was I doing? Either way, it's a win because it's a tool to make everyone understand. Look, let's take a second for a minute. The kids are there. Look what we're doing. Look what's happening. I could tell women it's my fault. You're right. It's my fault. Let me go deal with me then. If you can't have it both ways. You can't be poking your finger. Tell me it's my fault. No. Let me move over in. Separate could be in the house and we just focus on our obligation. I think that's a harder one to do because you're always being tricked back into the minute you two bust one joke, you're in the bedroom and you can love again.
Yeah, it's hard.
So I think when it gets to that level, separation says my obligations are still on top, so I'm still paying the bills, do everything. What I find a lot of men do in relationships is that they relinquish so much power that they can't even stand on their own without the woman. I watch that a lot, and it's because, and I know the man loves her, that's why he did it. Most men do that purely because he loved the girl, you know. It's not because he's an idiot or not. Nah, he loved the girl. He just thought, my nigga, like, I love you. I'm gonna give up
Make
the world.
sacrifices.
Make sacrifices, right? Because we were taught to make sacrifices, but in reality, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
You can't
Because
afford to make
you can't
sacrifices
afford
because you ain't where you are supposed to
be
at.
anyway. So you can't
Yeah,
even.
you need every
You
lifeline.
need every That's how I look at it. You need every lifeline because mine, I'm like, guys, do a self-evaluation every year. The car I'm driving, every year, the car I'm driving has to be the thing I'm paying for and it's mine. The clothes I wear, the things I have, I still as a man be able to stand alone even if I'm away from you. Needing you can't keep me here. Because then I'm really effed up. Because the only reason I'm even in a relationship because I depend on her for certain things.
Yeah.
Then you've gone so to the bottom of your manhood to the point where you can't see how messed up it is. You should be able to stand on your own at any given time as a man. Because that's the indication of how much discipline you've lacked over the years. And that's really why she's barking at you, because she knows she's taking care of you. That's where the lack of respect is coming from. Do you understand what I'm saying? You cannot relinquish that level of power. You still, I don't care what this woman says, she still wants you to be the man. I don't care what she says.
Yeah.
Being a man doesn't mean you have control over her and you don't know. Being a man means, nah, man, I can stand on my own. So whether you're, because, so bruv, some men, you can still be there. Some women are still in there because they ain't got the resources to go on their own.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the woman knows, bruv. No, a woman will resent you silently for looking after you, bro. For too long. For too long.
Facts.
For too long. Too long, bro. Like, listen, look, let me tell you how women do it. It's so funny.
You
Listen,
got
it's
you
your
got
job.
you got a month to get your shit
I want
right.
to say, men think,
You got till the next new moon,
Bro.
nigga.
you ain't got your job, yeah? You
That's
lose
what
your
you
job,
got.
yeah? Month go by, don't worry, baby, it's fine. 2 months may go, I'm talking, this is a good, ideal woman. 2 months go by. How you feeling? You gotta see. Oh, sorry. You gotta see this. You gotta see that. It's fun. Let me play this. It's actually hilarious, but it made me understand something. The first one's gonna go by. She gonna let you be, man.
Yeah, it's a month, man. The bills paid this month. Yeah, bills paid this month.
Next month, how are you feeling? Okay, you good? Everything alright? How you feeling? Oh no, I'm still. Month 3 comes back.
You know the fridge.
The fridge broken.
Yeah,
Don't worry about
washing
it.
machine.
Month 4 go by. She's gonna start telling you like I've seen some jobs. She start calling friends.
My friend Duncan's got a job. Don't talk.
By
to
the
me
time
about
it gets to
Duncan.
that level, you have freaking. You might have anywhere from 24 hours to a month before the disrespect comes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
So
coming.
make no mistake. This is why, for me, no matter what woman says to me, I take it on, but I don't live through her words. I live through my discipline, and I will never shift from that. Because if I start living through your words and how you feel today, you get so comfortable. When she stands up, she's like, "You don't even do anything for me." Hey, bro, when you hear those words, yeah, it's like she put a jackhammer to your chest. Boom.
Oh, you never.
That word, like you never.
You
But
always.
that's the draw.
That's the draw out. That's
Obviously.
the inflammatory.
I know
language.
now.
Now you're trying to defend a lie.
Yeah.
It's long because it's not real. Now you're trying to defend this. What do you mean I never?
And never and all that.
There's no such thing. Or every time? No. So I'm like, I don't play the game. I don't play the game.
It's inflammatory language.
Inflammatory language. So guys,
Inflammatory
my advice in that space is that, bro, keep your discipline on you. That's something no one can take from you. It will save your life. It will save your marriage. It will save your relationship. It will save you from any scenario because you're still you. Because at the same time, because in my mind, my paranoia always let me keep money aside. My paranoia has always kept money aside. Not because I plan to divorce, no. I just kept it there because it made me feel comfortable that if it was forever gonna go left, I'm not homeless, I'm not sleeping at nobody else's house, because I've done that already as a young man. I've gone through that. It will never happen again. Over my dead body, it's not happening. So in my head,
by the way, guys, homeless doesn't always mean sleeping
Like
on the
sleeping on the
streets.
rough.
If you sleep at your friend's
Couch,
house,
you ain't
couch
got
to
a
couch,
resident.
you're homeless.
yeah,
If you're sofa surfing, you're homeless.
Yeah, and I've sofa
And
surfed.
that's cool.
Oh, I've
Everyone's
sofa
done the
surfed.
homeless thing,
I've
especially if you live in London.
yeah,
You're
bro,
down.
I've
You
sofa
know,
surfed.
I've been homeless a couple times.
And I've got so now we're at the age now, it's like, bro,
When I was
it
younger,
makes no sense in our 30s to be homeless, bro. Or be in that position.
They can't run.
Do you understand? Love, relationships, stop. I don't identify myself by my relationship. That's not what's telling me who I am.
Yeah.
Her love is not what's sustaining me. You understand? I'm here for the vibes. I'm here for the vibes. I want to have fun. I want it peaceful and it's cool. Can you do that? Yes? Let's go. Let's go. Do you understand? Because what else are we here for? It's just so much kerfuffle. Like, why else are we here to shout at each other, to get angry, to get mad, and blah? And we spent years doing this. And I can't imagine 50 years old sitting there, like, being in a 30-year relationship with just drama and problems. I'm not happy. I haven't grown. And you can tell when a man's going through because he deteriorates. You tell when a woman's going through because she deteriorates. I can always tell when someone's in a happy relationship. They look the best they've ever done because that woman's a constant stream of inspiration. You climb higher. That's why I love relationships than being single. Because when you have the right woman, you can ascend higher at a faster rate. When you have the wrong woman, everything's hard. Every day's hard. Every day. Some man can't even sleep. They're sleeping. You know, let me tell you something. When you're doing, you decide you know you got it bad and it's horrible with your woman. If she don't let you sleep peacefully, if like during the day or like you want to have a nap or you just want to chill and there's no peace, she will start banging and cleaning and going through your phone and turning on the lights. You know? That's an indication of where you're at. Do you understand? Because when you're doing well, she will let you sleep. What? She wants to let the kids don't disturb daddy. You need them to rest. Do you understand what I'm saying? To protect your peace. So I'm saying to guys like, look, bro, don't put yourselves in these situations. Do not think because you love someone you have to put yourself in such compromising positions. Because the reality of it is, I'm not saying just get up and leave every time something's not wrong. But if you've tried therapy, you've tried this, you're trying, then the inevitable truth is, the next step is separation. No? And we can't work out that life, the next step is that. You cannot whip a dead horse. That's the lesson. It's whipping a dead horse. You can't. You'll never revive it. And when you look back after 10, 15 years, when you look back, all you see is all the damage. All the damage. And it only, my biggest fear is that I don't want to wake up and see my children. Because then I'll know I was responsible for that. I don't want to see my daughter in some dysfunctional situation because that's what she saw her parents do. I don't want my son getting yelled at by his woman because my dad's going through it. To me, that's more important than how I feel. And this is the reason why I had this hate-love relationship with feelings, because I'm like, feelings will keep you in dead situations.
Yeah.
For the longest time, in dead situation where your common sense is like, this is the wrong relationship for me. But your feelings will keep you there, suffering, and you pray for the good times. As soon as the time is good, you forget, you wipe your memory. Hey, we're good again. Oh,
an escapism.
It's nice, it's escapism, bro. All is this behind, when you lift up the curtain, bro, it's been dead for time, it's decaying. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's only when she bugs out at you in somewhere you're like, oh yeah, we ain't great. Oh wow, like, but yeah, so that's my thing. But I really understood, once again, compassion. Compassion's helped me understand, like, look, babes, you're angry. Let me hear you. Let me understand you. And see where I've gone wrong. Let me go figure out about that. This need to answer it. No. You can't trick me into answering When you start getting disrespectful, I'll create distance immediately. I'm like, you're not yelling at me. I'm not your son. You can't yell at man, bro. It's not that. Like, bro, it's such an
crazy, isn't it?
it's such an ick.
Yeah, what part
Bro,
of the game
like,
is that?
I can't explain to you what happens to my brain when a woman yells at me. I can't explain to you how it distorts my frequency, like, to the point
I
where...
can't even stand the shouting in the house.
Bro, to the point where...
I want to say, babes, if I'm in the house,
Rich.
don't shout. Tell me, I'll discipline them. I don't want to hear that.
The realest, the
I've heard
maddest
my
thing
mum
about
has
it.
killed me off already.
Bro, when she shouts, I'm
take
liable.
it.
As much as I love a woman, I'm liable to not love you in seconds because you shout. That's how mad it distorts with me. I can be madly in love with you and just completely detached because the yelling's got to a point where it's completely masculine. So in my head, I'm just like, let me just not put myself in that position. Let me just say, hey, let me pick a woman who's calm as me, who can talk like me, because I'm not gonna come yelling at no woman. I'm gonna come talk to you like, babe, I'm not really feeling this, I'm not feeling that. Because I'm just not. Building family, I treat the way I treat my business. I will find a business partner, a family partner who's capable to run this with me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I can't just pick you because I like loving you, liking you, being attracted to you are not prerequisites for relationships with me. Loving you, liking you, and being attracted to you are not prerequisites for relationships with me. Compatibility is. Your commitment is. Your commitment, compatibility. What's my other 3 C's? Also about competency. So competency, your commitment, and your compatibility is a prerequisite. Is that not us having a baby? Not us. These are not prerequisites for relationships. Because you will just. Then you'll ask yourself as a man, when it's all said and done, what's the legacy? At your grave now, it's like, he did this, he did that.
That's crazy.
I've been at my uncle's funerals, and the minute that
He was married over 20 years. He was a piece of.
he's a piece of this, his whole legacy, everything, just because he didn't understand. Like, dog, die with dignity is the only thing. My grandfather used to always say it. A man's job is to die with dignity. Die with dignity. Yeah, just because you can take corn doesn't mean you put yourself in the way to take corn. Doesn't make sense to me. We're grown.
You don't get
I
no
get
reward
great.
for that.
Yeah, bro, I'm great, bro. What do I like taking corn? For what? I ain't taking no corn. You yell, I'll give you your signing paper, your release papers. Please, thank you.
Here you go, you out on bail,
There's
baby.
very few million men to go yell at. Please, yeah. So, all right, cool. So let's wrap this up now. This has been very powerful. There's two quick questions from Ask a Man.
Ooh, I wasn't expecting this.
Two quick questions.
Okay.
I think this is our longest one.
No, really,
We'll
really
go
had to
with
let them
we'll
know
go
about
with this
disrespect,
one. Can you tell when the pussy is tight?
Wow.
Can you tell?
Of course you can.
No, your pussy, you can tell, but it's so weird because
Can you tell?
does a pussy tight mean that
I don't say
she
out-
doesn't?
Without
the
being
P
inside
word.
or not?
Just the vagina. Can we use biological terms?
Without
like-
being inside or not? What do you
No,
mean?
how do you know? About
How
being
would you
inside?
know?
Because how else am I?
I know, right?
Of course, I'm gonna tell them, innit?
Yeah, that's what I'm
come
saying.
on.
Yeah, but you have to think women don't know these things.
Okay.
So
Fair.
that's
Can you
why
tell the
it's.
guy? I think
You can't know. What we
no,
debating
it's so
this?
weird. No, but this is what it is because some women, because it
Can
depends.
you tell? Not her.
Can the
but
thing
some-
get tightened
Let me
up?
just finish.
Yeah.
Some women's pussy is
No,
tight.
Vagina.
it's a genuine question.
Yeah, right.
Just
What's the question?
can the vajayjay get tightened up?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
Oh,
get
okay.
to.
Wait, what's yours?
Some women actually,
Kegel exercises,
their
blah blah.
their vagina might be tight. Yeah,
This is a joke.
it's so casual.
You being weird about it, bro.
You're being weird about it still. If I go, you saw
Because
it.
I was saying the P
Vagina.
word.
Why did you slow down?
I was saying
there,
the P
bro?
word, so now he said don't say P word. So I have to start saying the V word.
Oh,
the V
yeah,
word.
okay, yeah. You have to consciously. make
Yeah,
it
yeah. So basically, some V's are
that's
tight, but what it is, it doesn't mean because it's tight that she herself is not loose.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
No, because I feel like there's
Guys,
this
the question was,
misconception.
can you know the vagina's tight? Not whether she's loose
But I think
or
Buzz
not.
is trying to get
doing
a
like
point.
a little-
But Buzz is trying to get a point that don't think that you're fooling
Just
us.
a straight
that
yes
because
or
it's
no.
tight that we don't know.
Yes, you can tell it's
Yeah.
tight. Next question.
Yeah, that was
Right,
easy.
okay.
Yeah, next question. We can tell.
You're not fooling us.
So just because it's tight doesn't mean you're not loose. you're such a fool. Because it's tight doesn't mean you're loose.
Trying to manipulate.
Listen,
Next
this
question,
is reminding the man, man.
Please,
This is
next
how
question.
men
I'm sweating there. This is too
Next
funny.
question. Do you like compliments?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't get enough of them, to be honest.
We don't. No, I saw on Instagram.
I
Someone
think
said.
it depends on the person.
No,
I think everyone
most
appreciates
guys will
compliment.
vote.
I think a
no.
man does more than enough daily to get at least 1-2 comments.
No, that's what I'm saying though. So I think it depends on the woman.
Okay, how grateful she
Themselves.
is or not.
Like, yeah, if they express that.
That would be almost like words of affirmation, isn't it?
Yeah, but in terms of
Love
like,
language,
I believe it's my belief that I don't think any man will mind a woman complimenting them on something that they on anything.
No, of course.
It might not be their love language or big thing, but they can still appreciate.
Yeah.
I don't think it's, and my
Men don't
belief is
get
I
enough
think-
compliments, so
That's what I was
boy,
about to say.
I don't even get how you
I don't believe it's common, but men do appreciate that because it is a rare, thing.
I saw someone on Instagram. I'm gonna finish off with this Instagram quote so you guys can check it out, but it was quite interesting. But some for the audience to think about, there's an Instagram quote where a woman said, "I don't know how men carry all these issues deep down and look okay," and the guy underneath said, "And don't tell nobody." And the guy was just like, "Actually, we don't make it look easy. It's that no one cares." But it was so subtle, but majority of men don't really feel that women care. Like, they don't feel.
No, because they're attacking masculinity.
Because what? Because you're constantly paying for the actions of other men.
Whether it's her dad.
Thank you for another great episode, man. We went in today. Oh yeah, bro, we've gone in. How's everyone feeling? We've been going in. This part, the last few episodes we've been doing, we've been going in. But I'm so grateful because I feel like we've really had an honest. Because I forgot the cameras on. I ain't gonna lie to you. I forgot. So I hope the audience really. It's our truth and just. Because it's what you lot say is the truth. I had to say perspective. But
No, it's definitely our perspective.
it's our perspective. It's what and we're trying to
in
learn.
our minds.
It's in our mind. And if you let someone know inside your mind, they're gonna find dirty stuff, they're gonna find good stuff, they're gonna find bad stuff. So we're just laying it out there for everyone. So I hope you found it useful. I hope you found it liberating. And whenever you're during this whole holiday period, take the time to really just take what you think is valuable from what we're saying. I mean, reflect on it. You know, they say Christmas is a time of reflection as well, sitting with family, really reassessing. Because some of you are going to argue during Christmas with your missus. You are.
No arguing, boys.
You are,
No
but
arguing.
so don't. There's no arguing, yeah? At least on Jesus' birthday, just allow it.
Yeah, real men
Yeah.
don't argue.
No. Okay. The views of people individually on this podcast does not reflect. But it's love, light, happy holidays to everybody. We love you lot. In the new year, we got so many cool stuff coming out. I want to thank you to Bryony, thank you to Rich, thank you for Buzz, thank you to Time Stone Production and everything.
Time Stone.
So go follow Time Stone Productions on Instagram everywhere because
Got man looking
if you
fly.
like all the stuff you're seeing, it's because these guys are geniuses and they've made our stuff look flawless. So
Yeah, they did that stuff with
you know what I
Marvel.
mean? So before I even close off anything a step further, let me shout out to Tom and Jake because without them, this is not looking great, bruv. You know what I'm saying?
Stone.
Like, you know what I mean? I've tried to do podcasts without them. It don't work. I've tried to have a tripod. It was whooping my ass. I couldn't pull it together. I've tried to set the camera up. It just didn't work.
Now
You understand
we
what I'm
got
saying?
lights,
So
DMX cables.
You know what I'm saying? So before we even say anything, shout out to Time Stone Production for just the flawlessness of how we look and how great we look. So thank you guys. Subscribe, follow, check us out, and stay tuned for the next episode. Peace and love. It's in his mind.